This is Justin for Friday, November 18th, 2022, looking at SPX on the daily. So we ended up with a high wave candle that was a bearish candle. We zoom down here on the 3-minute and we can see this candle opened up ever so slightly below where this candle closed. So something's a little bit off here because I thought we'd have a bullish daily candle, but basically it was pretty indecisive. We ended up closing right around where we opened. And there's some interesting symmetry going on here. It's not totally obvious at a glance, but I'm seeing a descending triangle here, and I'm seeing an ascending triangle here. And I'm going to draw it like this because you kind of have these wicks that we opened up and ran into, and then we got almost up into at the close. So there's some definite indecision in this area. We bounced there, we sold off from there for a few days, and even a few days past also. We're still in this area. So once we actually make a clean break from here, if that's breaking below, closing below, not just breaking below, but closing below the 100, or if we get a close above these couple candles. Right now this is a morning star reversal. We came down to the 100. We can easily run back up, run up to the 200. The closer this 200 gets into these lines, I think that's the next place we'll go, and then decide from there if we're going to continue to run higher. I think it's more likely we'd actually break down. But anyway, if we zoom out, or let me zoom into the 3-minute just for Friday, and then we can look at how things kind of moved around. So we had some more consolidation during the day. Ultimately, this looks like a big cup. And then I'm just wondering if we're going to have kind of the handle come in, like the cup and handle pattern for Monday. The option kind of obviously shows the opposite. You've got, the put going that way. And then the call, it does have kind of a similar form to it. Yeah, obviously the cup is upside down on the put. But you also had some, let me delete all this. You also had some more consolidation this way and this way that eventually got really small in here. Unfortunately, did not give a really clean 10 EMA till kind of up here, and then it negated it here. So 10 EMA setup was actually a little bit more troubling. Like here's a bull candle closing below the 10, and then that didn't actually play out. It was just choppy. So we're not in a trend, and the 10 EMA is very much a trend following setup. Here's one with the 10, bull candle closing below the 10 right there. So there were definitely opportunities that showed up, but it really didn't follow through or play out as well when this is just going so sideways. So you got to look for those consolidations and see, okay, what could happen here? And at this point, we had been making kind of slightly higher lows, but we had been making lower highs for longer throughout the day. So it was really a 50-50 guess. And if you got on the right side of that, then maybe you got a really inexpensive call down here, and you could have gotten a more expensive put over here. And then the amount of value that lost and the amount of value that gained, I think you actually made it out ahead. If you bought, if you bought a put and a call, this is both 39.50 strike. Maybe it worked, but while this is so choppy, it's really hard to really see some clean levels in there. The one thing I do notice is I get a really nice support level through here. If I could draw it straight one day. Let's try one more. Okay, so that's around the same level. It looks like around 6. And then once that breaks down, I mean, it didn't even line up as cleanly. Like that would have been like a high here, kind of matching up with the high here and high here. Like all of that would have been the same on the put. And so then once that breaks, something is going on. Like get out of your put and go get into calls. And as that's breaking out, you have this significant retest here, like this, that on the on the call doesn't look as clean. It just retested where that broke out right there. So that would have been a better place to get in to a call on that retest. Really, it's breaking out around here. This is where looking at an option maybe a little further away would have worked out better. Let's see, this one moved kind of significantly. I don't think that wick is weird, is real. It does not look like a real wick. So here's the breakout point, and then it actually retested and got lower than this had been, and then skyrockets, except I don't think that can't be real. Let's go look at a different option. Maybe this would be more realistic. Yeah, I think this one's better. There we go. So here's that breakout, retest, back down into the same level. This would have been a great 10 EMA or absolute zero setup. Buy for $1, or if you can, buy 0.5 and get 2 of them, and then just hold on for the ride and see. Yeah, this looks like it would have ran up into the previous pivots over here around 450. So that would have been an opportunity to buy at 1 and flip it out at 3 or 4 or 5. Any of those targets would have worked. Even going up to 2.5, like the previous pivot here, or any of these opening bear candles, or the open of any of these bear candles here. So that would have been, yeah, that wick was definitely not a real wick, or something else going on there. But yeah, the 39.50 strike would have been a little harder, would have been a little more expensive to get into that when it's breaking out. Yeah, it was right at it. It was at the money. So it's much more expensive. So you've got, you know, the extrinsic value coming out of the option as this is rolling over. It's coming out very quickly in the last hour of the day. And so if you do buy, you know, kind of a blind buy, but this was actually a really nice place to buy this low right off of the pivot here and here. That's a really great setup to get into that bullish. I'm looking for that to continue higher. And sure enough, it did. It gave you a really great opportunity to buy that, even at the same level from before or even lower. Yeah, when it takes out the low and it's already trending, this is something I've got to study some more. So when this is breaking out, and all we're doing is S-curving, but when the call is actually pulled back so much that it's taking out the level, I've noticed those are really great opportunities. Not always, but there are some where that level gets taken out because the market maker is just, I mean, the Greeks are just sucking the value out of this. When it takes out this low, it's hitting stops for anybody who got into this with a stop right below it, because those stops are getting hit right there. It's not going to take as many bulls with it. And so it's a great trap kind of opportunity to buy right here, because people are getting stopped out, and then you're in for the ride even higher than this one went. So I got to study that some more, but that's my real takeaway from today, or from Friday's movement on the 3-minute here. I'm looking for these bigger S curves. I also like that it retested really into the middle of this candle. It retested into previous pivots and was already moving bullish. So great opportunity to get in there. It wasn't out of 10 EMA, which is what I've really enjoyed talking about, because the setups are really nice when we're trending. When we're not trending, we got to look for what are those breakouts, what are those levels, how can you get into a better put or a better call level price, and ride that even further for the next game. So hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.